Hello and welcome to MetraAV Tech Tip Solutions. I'm Brent.
I'm Adam.
And it's Friday.
It is.
Now, Friday's not Wednesday, so Friday we actually get to talk about one of our products and how you use them.
Yes.
Now, I like today's assortment because it fits very nicely in with your presentation on Wednesday, which by the end of it, I did figure out.
You finally, and I figured it out too, because we finally have a name for what it was,
The Fantastic Four Pillars.
The Fantastic Four Pillars of System Design.
So what we have today is signal, specifically IR and getting it from distance.
Yes.
So talk to me about what you've got here.
Okay, so specifically the products that we're talking about are our two IR extending blocks that we have. There's the one with the contact closure and the one without the contact closure. By the way, model numbers will be listed below in the description, as well as I think they're popping up on the screen right about here. Then we also are using our 3.5 breakout devices, and again, the model numbers for these. Yeah, these are actually on the models for these are listed below as well.
And I actually remember that one.
Do you remember that one?
I remember because we did it years ago.
Yeah. So what we're
when
talking
I was young,
about,
my memory was good.
Right. Now, what we're talking about is the fact that the included device or the included IR equipment that comes with the IR blocks when it comes as a kit,
whether it's an IR receiver.
Yep. It's long, but it's actually not that long. Yeah. And so, in a lot of times, you're trying to use the system in a way to extend it beyond the length of this IR bar, the piece that actually receives the IR signal. And when that happens, you run into a problem of how do I get that signal all the way back? So what we're talking about today,
you may go up to 100 feet.
Yeah, you could go, yeah. And so what we're talking about today is how to actually apply that distance to our equipment that we have here. So today what we're going to use is we're going to use these breakouts, these 3.5 breakouts, because this IR bar is simply just a 3.5 stereo connection. You can actually find in the manual for this product, you can find the actual pinouts for this, and it's also on the website as well. But normally what you would do is with this is just simply take that and plug it into the IR repeating block itself, and that's basically done. It gives it 12-volt power, it gives it ground, and it gives it signal for that connection there. So what many people have done in the past is they've taken this cable here and they've cut it. Brent?
Which in the old days of IR, when wire was larger,
yes,
you could do that. However, now we're down into the sub 32 gauge conductors.
So what I want to do is I want to show you what this looks like. And so this is actually going to be a little bit difficult because it's a brown wire over a brown board. However, if you can see it there on my hand,
tiny.
It's teeny, teeny, tiny. And just as an example,
and it's varnished.
Yep. This is a Cat 5 cable here. So this is what, a 24 gauge. And I've actually got them twisted together so we get a little bit more out of it. But that's what we're going to be using today. So here's the thing. Can you do it? Can you cut it? Yes, you can. Have people gotten away from it? Yeah, it works.
But it drives them crazy.
But don't, because it's going to cause problems.
You can't use standard connecting caps. You can't use the little chiclets.
Yep.
You know, the wire, don't.
Just don't. Just don't. Do it this way. Save a life. Save a life.
Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
Sure, yeah, do that. Just do it this way because it's going to ensure that you don't have to roll a truck. And honestly, it looks so much nicer.
It's so much easier.
It's so much easier. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and give us a top-down shot again, and we're going to talk about how to actually make this work. So
now, for what it's worth, before you get going, depending on which of these you use, connecting blocks determines which of these you're going to use.
Yes.
For example, the basic connecting block without the relay, the Phoenix plug that's in it acts as an alternative to the IR receiver.
That's right. Yeah.
However, on the IRKITCCUS, that is actually the relays.
Yeah, that's the.
So you cannot plug the remote receiver into that.
Correct. So that's why we wanted to bring this out there and show that to you. However, for myself, I still prefer this way because it's much simpler. You just plug it directly into it. So with that, let's go ahead and look at this. So this is our stand-in for the wire that we have running the walls. This is just Cat 5. Just pretend that this is 100 feet of Cat 5 that's in the wall. We're just going to use this as a stand-in. So what I've done, and this is entirely up to you, you can choose on how you want to do it. What I've done is I've used the blue, orange, and brown wires, and I've actually twisted them together, and so that now we have
double up the conductor.
Double up the conductor. Now, of course, if you're using that conductor for something else, that's entirely up to you, but you're going to get better performance out of it if you do this instead. Yep. So I've taken the green, we're not using it, I've just kind of twisted it out of the way, and I have not cut it short, Brent.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Because I use the green and not the blue.
Yeah, so I've got the green there. Now you'll notice I did the same thing on both sides. I took the green and twisted it away, and I'm not using the green on that side. That's really important to make sure that you do that correctly. Now, what I have from here is we have our 3.5 female
keystone insert.
Keystone insert. Now you don't have to use this in a keystone. You can just use it by itself.
But we sell it as a keystone.
Yep. And then we have our 3.5 male breakout, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take these here, we're going to tie them together over this cable here. Now what you'll notice on this here is we have a certain signal here. Well, let's see, maybe. There it is. We've got positive, negative, and we've got signal, right? So we've got positive, negative, and ground, or ground in the middle. So what we'll notice on this one is it's embossed, and it actually says L, R, and ground. So Brent,
left, right, and ground, because it was originally a stereo breakout.
Right. So Brent, what's the correlation there? How do we know which one to use?
My opinion? Read the directions.
Yep,
Because I honestly don't remember tip, ring, and sleeve. However, a very simple way to do this.
Yep.
Plug these two together.
Yep.
Take your little jumper on that and take your voltometer.
Yep.
And check continuity.
Yep, simply check continuity.
I don't care what they tell you in the manual. Manufacturing practices in the Far East are not as consistent as you would like them to be. Always double check. On audio, it's not that big a deal, but for IR, it's a good idea to do that.
Right. So in this case, we've got our meter here. We're just going to check continuity really quick. And we'll take this here. I don't know if you all can hear that or not, but there's that.
Okay, so I'm going to go orange to signal.
Here, you're going to want this to push it in there.
Blue to signal.
Shall I?
No, it just goes in like that.
Okay.
And then that goes, see?
There you go. Look at that.
And brown to ground.
Okay.
I like the brown to ground.
Go forward just a little bit, if you would, so they can see that. Brown to ground, because it's, you know, brown and dirt. Dirt's brown, right?
Sure. And mostly it just rhymes.
Sure.
And I'm not there. And then orange for power. Because red is the positive terminal. So
now once we've got that, now we can check and see our continuity and make sure that we've got the right connection for that. So again, we've got our continuity tester here. It beeps whenever we have that. And I'm just going to simply go over here to this side here. I'm going to start with L for left. Put one connection there on that.
May I take the other one?
Yep. And we're just going to find out which one of those is the right one. Looks like orange. Yep.
Always double check. So L goes to orange.
Orange. So we're going to take this here, really straightforward. Now, of course, this is a little bit different. We have things right here for it. You're going to want to double check yourselves for your job site.
100 foot's not going to roll up that nicely.
So I'm going to go here for the orange into the L, and I'm just going to tie this down for you really quick. Like so. And then we're going to move on to the next one. So let's go ahead and check and see which one is next. Let's use R. So we'll go here for R. And if you'll check the next one. Here, bring it forward a little bit.
R is blue.
R is blue. Right. Go ahead and make sure that we have this one here. There you go. Okay, so with that, we know that R is blue, so we're going to put that there in the middle connection there. And tie it in like so. And then we're going to use brown over here. Like so. Over here. Like that. And tie that down. So now we know our continuity is correct. We can unplug that there. And now this really simple part or the difficult part is done. Now we can take our IR bar. We can take the 3.5 side of it. Pretty straightforward. We're going to plug it into this guy here. And then we're going to take this side of it and we're going to plug it into that.
And you're done.
And you're done. So that, everybody, is how you extend an IR bar system from the IR receiver over a category wire to the block itself with the equipment and not have to do any kind of soldering. You don't have to do any kind of butt connectors or anything else like that.
It's really not the way to do this.
It's not. This is really the best way. It's the cleanest way, and it's the most serviceable way out of all of them.
And it gives you a nice, clean connection with the keystone.
Exactly. So, everybody, thank you for checking out today's episode. Go and check out the products that are listed below. Contact your sales rep and or your distributor for availability and pricing.
They're all listed on the IR products page on our website.
That's right. So, everybody, thank you so much for checking us out today. I'm Adam.
I'm Brent, but wait, there's one last thing to throw in
one more
this.
thing. Yeah.
There is a short connecting cable that if you have a control system,
Yes.
like a Control 4 or an RTI or URC, it's called the IRCCUS.
Yep.
Excuse me, IRCC. CS-IRCC.
There you go. CS-IRKITCCUS.
Which will be down below correctly.
Yes, it will. Yep.
So when you're looking at an IR output, it's a mono jack.
Yep.
When you're looking at the input on this, if you're coming from here into here to control relays or
Yep.
anything else,
Yeah.
see, I had to think about that. This is a stereo jack, and you want to float the voltage so you don't short these.
Right.
So the CS-IRCC cable is the proper cable to go from a control system into the connecting block.
That's right.
And it works for anybody's connecting block.
Yep.
And any major control system.
That's
which
right.
is Control 4, Crestron, RTI, URC,
Savant,
Avant, Elan,
and it keeps going.
and most of our extenders.
Yeah. So everybody, again, thank you for checking us out today. We really appreciate you. If you have any questions about whatever it is that we've talked about today, you can, of course, reach out to us directly. 386-202-6132 is my number.
386-202-6137 is mine.
And, of course, you can reach me at adam.rogers@MetraAV.com or...
And Brent.McCall at MetraAV.com. And on
from
that
there,
happy note, I'm Brent.
I'm Adam.
Reboot early.
Reboot often.
Don't cut your wires too short.
Turn off CEC.
Call tech support and have a great weekend.
We'll see y'all later.
See you next Wednesday.